Continuing on with chapter 12, pencils. Jason borrowed a pencil from Allison. When he gave it back to her, it was full of teeth marks. Allison held the pencil by its point. Yuck, she said, you chewed on it. Jason felt awful. It is very embarrassing to borrow somebody's pencil and then chew on it. Sorry, he said. I didn't do it on purpose. You can keep it, said Allison. She dropped the pencil on Jason's desk, then raised her hand. Mrs. Jules, can I go to the bathroom? I have to wash my hands. Jason slobbered all over my pencil. Everybody laughed. Jason turned red. I'm sorry, Allison, he said. I know it's a disgusting habit. I just can't help it. Don't let Jason touch any of my books, said Allison as she headed out the room. He might eat them. Everybody laughed again. Here, you can eat my book, Jason, said Todd. I don't like it anyway. Mrs. Jules made Todd write his name under the word discipline on the blackboard. Jason was so mad at himself. He broke the chewed pencils to bits. Wasn't a smart thing to do. Everybody, take out a pencil and a piece of paper. It's time for our spelling test. Oh, Jason slapped himself on the forehead. I'm so dumb, he thought. Rondi, may I borrow a pencil, please? He asked. Rondi made a face. All my pencils are new, she said. How do I know you won't eat it? I won't, said Jason. I promise. You better not, said Rondi. She gave him one of her pencils. It was new and freshly sharpened. Jason loved the way it smelled. Number 1, said Miss Jules. The word is orchestra. Jason tried to remember how to spell orchestra. He stuck the back of the pencil in his mouth. Second word, garbanzo. Jason chewed on the eraser. When the spelling test was over, Rondi's pencil looked worse than Allison's. Jason looked at it in horror. He didn't even remember chewing it. Oh no, he thought. What am I going to do? He stuck it inside his desk. Jason, can I have my pencil back, please? Asked Rondi. What pencil? Said Jason. The one I lent you, said Rondi. Jason opened his desk, looked all around, pretended like he was looking. I don't know where it is, he said. Mrs. Jules, Jason stole my pencil, called Rondi. Jason, give it back to Rondi. He gave it to her. You chewed on it, exclaimed Rondi. Everyone laughed again. No, I didn't, said Jason. Those are teeth marks. They're Rondi's. How can they be my teeth marks? Asked Rondi. She smiled. She was missing her 2 front teeth. So, said Jason, you don't chew pencils with your front teeth. You chew them with your back teeth. How do you know? Asked Rondi. Said Jason. Mrs. Jules made Jason write his name on the blackboard under the word discipline because he chewed Rondi's pencil and then lied about it. And try not to eat the chalk, Miss Jules said. Everyone laughed. Rondi threw the chewed up pencil out the window. It hit Louis on the head. Mrs. Jules gave Damien a stack of worksheets and asked him to pass them out. They contained math problems. Jason had to borrow another pencil. Allison, may I borrow your pencil? Eat my socks, said Allison. That wasn't such a bad idea, Jason realized. If he stuck a sock in his mouth, he wouldn't be able to chew a pencil. Myron looked at his worksheet. I don't feel like doing it. Here, Jason, you can have my pencil. Thanks, Myron, said Jason. I promise not to chew it. He hoped he'd be able to keep his promise. Do you think he will? He thought about asking Miss Jules for a Tootsie Roll Pop. If I'm sucking on that, I won't be able to chew Myron's pencil. And a Tootsie Roll Pop would probably taste better than Allison's socks. He didn't know for sure because he'd never tasted Allison's socks. But before he could ask Miss Jules called him. Jason, will you come here for a moment? She said. I think I know how to keep you from chewing pencils. Jason smiled as he walked to her desk. I like the purple ones, he told her. But Miss Jules didn't give him a Tootsie Roll Pop. Instead, she taped his mouth shut with heavy-duty masking tape. She had to use a lot of tape because Jason had the biggest mouth in the class. There, she said. Jason started back to his seat. Aren't you even going to say anything? Or thank you? Asked Miss Jules. Said Jason. You're welcome, said Miss Jules. Hey, Jason, teased Allison. You look like a mummy. Don't sneeze, said Rondi. You'll blow your head off. They both laughed. Jason said back to them. It was a very bad thing to say. He wasn't supposed to use words like that. You better not pull the tape off, said Rondi. You might rip your lips off. They both laughed again. Jason had never been more embarrassed in his whole life. His ears burned as he set to work on his math problems. They were tough problems. Several times the pencil crashed into the tape, but the tape held firm. Mrs. Jules was very proud of herself. Not only did the tape protect Myron's pencil, but Mrs. Jules also noticed that Jason was quieter than he'd ever been. I should tape all the mouths shut, she thought. Then they'd all be so nice and quiet. It was such a good idea. She wondered why no other teacher had ever thought of it. I can tell you this teacher would never tape your mouths closed. I like to hear what you have to say.